Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back. Brendan again, and today we're going to do a video response to a video response to a video that I did earlier. Are you confused yet? I know I am. But the video in question is one that I put up called How Much Money I Make on YouTube. Then Omar, or Chef Buff, also put up a video response to this talking about some other aspects of how he makes money on YouTube. And he disagreed with me just a little bit and said, hey, you forgot to talk about these things, which is cool. I'm completely fine with that. But I thought a video response from me would only be only so I could kind of say my piece as well as save myself from typing all the stuff in the reply box on his video. So first of all, if you haven't seen his video, go check it out. You'll find it linked in the description below. Now for this, the thing I want to focus on is apparel. So Omar said that apparel is a big income for a lot of YouTubers, himself specifically, and I agree, it definitely can be a huge source of income. Well, that being the case, why didn't I talk about that in my video about how much money I make on YouTube? And the reason being is because it doesn't really apply to me because I don't really push a lot of apparel. Now, I will say that I'm not completely innocent of this because if you look in the description box of any video, even this video, you will find a link to my store on Spreadshirt. So if you're not familiar with what Spreadshirt is, let me give you a quick rundown of it. It's a site where you can upload designs, choose different pieces of clothing, and then turn around and set markups on this and open a virtual store online so that you, the viewer, could go to my Spreadshirt store, see all these different shirts that I've designed and the pricing accordingly, and you can purchase them. And as part of that, Spreadshirt charges me a certain amount of money for the actual materials and labor, and then I can set my own profit margin on it. So for example, a plain standard t-shirt with just one print on the front, and it can be multiple colors, is going to run around $11. I can then go ahead and turn around and mark that up. In fact, if you look at my store right now, you can find standard t-shirts selling for $18, which means my cost of $11 gives me a $7 profit on each one of those t-shirts. Now, if I want to print on the back, that's going to cost more money, or depending on what clothing item I choose, higher quality items usually require higher prices. But I can still set the markup on that. And you'll actually find that my more expensive items, the things that might cost like $25, for example, is because the cost on those for me is probably like $23. So I'm only really making $2 profit margin. So the first thing I want to talk about now is Spreadshirt, and one of the reasons I don't push this store. While it's very easy for someone like me or anyone out there to go ahead and open one of these virtual stores, it saves us a lot of time and effort up front because you don't have to pay for these shirts in bulk and then be responsible for shipping them out to the people who want to buy them. Spreadshirt takes care of everything. It's very easy, but as part of that, they do take a big chunk of your actual profits. So again, they will charge you for materials and labor. Now, a lot of people out there just simply stick to the Spreadshirt store, but if you're really interested in knowing how much people are actually making on some of this stuff, it's very easy. Go to Spreadshirt yourself, open up the designer, pick out the exact shirt, the quality, whatnot, and just add a print on the front or add a print on the back, whatever the shirt from your favorite YouTuber you're interested in is selling you, and you can see that the markups are pretty tremendous in the most case. In fact, I would say that most of them are ripoffs. And again, this is one of the big reasons why I don't push this store. Now, true, again, I'm not innocent here. I do have mine there as well, and you guys do go and buy it. But in most cases, I don't advertise it because I'd rather save you guys money if possible. Now, how can I save you guys money and still give you apparel, so to say? That's where you can do it yourself, where you can contact a designer and a printing company and have them make it up. So in the past, I've worked with Lamar over at Super Fresh Clothing. So for example, when I did those blue tank tops, I did an order of 50 from them. I think they ended up costing me about $9 a piece, and he'd ship them all to me, and then I could then turn around and sell them. And I think I sold them for $20, which included free shipping. Now, shipping is another thing. Domestically, in the United States for me, that shipping only ran me about $2 a person. So if you figure $9 a shirt plus $2 for shipping, that's an $11 cost. I sold them for $20. So in most cases, I was making $9 a shirt. And this is really how people can make a ton of money off of apparel. So for example, if you're getting a ton of shirts through one of these printing companies that are providing you services and having them bulk shipped to you, the more you get, the cheaper it gets. So for example, you could get a very high quality shirt with a print on the front for somewhere between $7, $8, or even $9. I would say $9 is on the high end. I'm talking these nice soft cotton V-necks, these fitted American Apparel even in some cases that might add a couple dollars or so. But then people are then turning around and selling these for twice the price of what they're paying. So there's a huge markup on here, and it's a huge source of income for a ton of people. Not to mention, on top of this, many people will then also charge you shipping. And the shipping that they're charging is like $5, $6, $7. If you're overseas, forget it. They're going to charge you even more. But that's all just extra money because it's not eating into their actual profit margin. And in some cases, depending how it's set up, they might say it's $7 shipping, but to them it only really costs $3 or $4. That's an extra $3 or $4 profit. So I'm not a big fan of doing these bulk shipping orders anyways, because again, I don't like pushing these wares on you, so to say. Now, I'm not gonna say that these shirts aren't cool, because a lot of times, a lot of the shirts that people come out with are stuff that I would wear and rock. But when it comes down to it, knowing the pricing structure, it's not something that I'd want to actively contribute to. Now, if I really, really like the channel, or they're trying to do something, they're trying to raise money, that's definitely something I would do. In the past, in fact, one of the reasons why I did the black V-necks from my original channel that you guys might remember, I only did 30 of them, so many of you probably don't remember that. But I did that specifically to buy a new camera. So all the profits for that went to buying a new camera, and that's the reason I did those bulk shirts. And I said that when I released them. The tank tops that I did was more because people wanted them, and more specifically, I wanted a blue tank top with my logo on it. So I think I did a run of 50 of those. The third time that I've actually done shirts directly through me, most of you guys never even knew about, because it was something that I made, and I only put a link in the description box of a few videos saying, hey, you know what, if you pay attention to the description box, I'm doing these special shirts that you can only find here, and once they're gone, they're gone. And I think I sold like 10 or 12 only. I think I did an order of 40 or 50. And then I pulled them off because, you know what, I was like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to make my money off of this. And again, for some people who make their living off of YouTube, I understand what they're doing. But for me personally, selling shirts is just kind of a ripoff because the markups are so high, and I just don't want to do that to you guys. I would much rather just have you do something that doesn't cost you anything, like watch a crappy ad that I might have to promote, or, you know, just watch one of my videos in general. And if you have ad block, which you should have ad block, you won't really see it anyways. I don't make a ton of money off here, but I would rather do it that way than selling you something with this huge markup and just banking the money. So that's why I didn't talk about it in my video. Again, nothing against YouTubers out there who choose to do it this way. It's just not my style. But I just thought you guys should know that a lot of times these shirts are marked up huge amounts and people are making mad bank off of you. So at least I hope you like the designs and how they fit and how they feel. In the meantime, as always, thanks for watching and stay big.